definitely gonna lay it down though when I get through.
I know that's right.
Y'all, you know I can go to sleep.
Girl, let me tell y'all something. Today, I'm so excited. I got my girl, Madam CJ, in the building. Singer, songwriter, CEO, author, and womb wellness dance sensei, y'all. She is here. She has arrived, and I could not wait because she has these amazing workshops, womb wellness workshops, and she has all the, like, she's figured it out. Like, she's taken time to naturally heal her body, and she's going to share all of this with us. The conversation of fibroids has been a huge topic, so I had to get Madam CJ up in here. Say hello to the people, CJ.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Thank you so much for having me, Fi. I just love you so much, and just thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm so happy you're here because I have questions myself. Like, and I really haven't had a chance to talk to you about it. So this is like the perfect time for you to share. But before we get into that, let's talk about this haircut, baby, because you're looking fabulous. I love how you can switch it up from the big fro to short cut, style cut, brush cut. Like, you look beautiful, friend. Now, you said there's a story behind your new haircut that you're going to share with us today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for the compliments. I really like wearing my hair short. I went back natural in 1994.
Okay.
And have been natural ever since then. Before there was a big chop, before there was 4C, which is what they say I have. I fell in love with my blackness back in 1994.
Absolutely.
Just to be clear.
Absolutely.
So, this rendition of the Caesar cut came from, so I was on, I tried another program, okay? So the herbs that I've been using for fibroid elimination, I felt I had came in and I hit a plateau with them. So I started seeking out other options because there are more options now than when I was diagnosed with fibroids for womb healing and fibroid elimination.
Okay.
So anyway, I said, let me try this program. And I added 2 more new supplements. So I started getting really good results quickly, right?
Okay.
But I noticed that after I took the first set of herbs, my period went from 28 days to 30 days. Okay. And so I was like, okay, all right, that's still a healthy period.
Yeah, that's still for sure. Yeah. That's kind of normal.
And then I actually the second time I ordered the herbs, I started taking them and my period came, and it came 35 days. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, I don't like that.
I don't like this. And I noticed that my libido was off. Like, usually when I ovulate, child, that thing be dripping, honey. I be in the stove. I be in the stove.
That
and
thing be like a ta-ta.
Yes.
Oh, dang. Yes.
It wasn't like that.
Oh,
and I'm like, okay, girl, what is going on? Something's drying me out, right?
Right.
So January came, and I was actually a little hesitant about continuing the herbs. My intuition was speaking to me, but sometimes we hard-headed.
For sure.
So anyway, I didn't get my period in January. And that scared the shit out of me because I'm like, okay, I just turned 47.
Okay.
And I know the women in my family don't go into menopause until 50s. So I got a few more years before I go.
Right, for sure.
So let me see what's going on. And I didn't want to go to my doctor because she does not believe in herbal anything.
Right. Okay.
Even though she has a great bedside manner and she does very well with fibroids. I said, let me go see my nutritionist.
Right.
So I went to go see her and showed her the ingredients on the herb program that I was on.
Okay.
And I believe in the blood type diet. I practice the blood type diet. And I have been practicing that since 2017 when I started shrinking the fibroids.
Okay.
I'm O positive, which means I'm the oldest blood type on the planet, and I am a meat eater. Let's be clear.
Okay.
So anyway, child, I went to go see her and I showed her them herbs. And the first thing she said was this, and this. You not supposed to have this. This done threw your hormones out of whack. that is why, and that's in my head. I came out, my period ain't come. I just feel like shit.
Gosh.
And I was having symptoms of having a period, like tender breast, blackhead, cramps. You know, and I don't get major cramps, but just, you know, the menstrual discomfort.
Right.
And child, when she said that, she said, I said, my head up, though. She said, that's your liver. And this is the reason why. You're not supposed to have these three things.
Wow.
And that is why I had hit a plateau with the other herbs, because they had the same herb in there that I was not supposed to have. So anyway,
wow, that's so much,
girl. But it was such a relief, because I only had to spend $36 to get what I needed to bring my period back, instead of spending $257 over at Morehouse Medical for her to tell me, no, you're in menopause.
Right.
Which is what they do to women.
Right. Yeah.
This is what they do to women. So I'm like, okay, girl. So I started taking
especially
the stuff.
Us. They're
yeah, especially us. Exactly. So, child, I started taking the stuff on Saturday. And today, honey, I just went to the bathroom before I got on this call with you, and there she was.
Okay, that thing popping. She is okay.
The same color as this lipstick, baby, healthy, bright, and red.
Oh, yeah. We ain't never been so hyped about a cycle, right?
Baby, I'm always hyped about my cycle. Let me tell you something. I ain't never been one to say, oh, I don't want no period. I've always wanted a period.
You always want yours. Let me tell you something. Okay, wait. So let's go back, because we dove right into some stuff. First of all, let's start with tell us about yourself. Tell us a little bit about Madam CJ and how she came to be, like, where you from, how you started your career. Like, give us a little backstory about Madam CJ herself.
Well, I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And yes, making easy money, pimping hoes in style, honey.
Period.
And I'm talking about period, okay? I'm talking about men whores, okay? Anyway, I moved to Atlanta in 1997, and I moved here to be a makeup artist and a choreographer.
Dope.
Yeah. And then my grandmother passed in 99. I sang at her funeral, and my mama told me, she's like, you need to go back to Atlanta and sing. And I was like, girl, that's all I need was your blessing, child. And that's what I did. I said, okay, I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna do that. And so started pursuing that in 2003, released my first EP, and been doing that. And then I said, I wanted to know what happened was I was diagnosed with fibroids in 2008. And when I started learning from Dr. Herb Sister about womb wellness, which I did not know existed, right? Even though I had gotten Queen of Fools book in 1999, Heal Thyself. And I had already saw an iridologist in 1999. Iridologist is somebody who looks in your iris to tell you all your, and she told me that I had a fibroid growing. And of course I scoffed because I didn't know anything about that. I was arrogant.
Right. I mean, that's pretty early on too. I feel like people weren't really talking about fibroids then, you know?
No. Yeah. And my mom had already had a partial hysterectomy in her 30s. So she still has her ovaries, but and I know my grandmother had passed of uterine cancer in 99. And so anyway, I was diagnosed in 2008.
Okay.
And so I started learning from Ashay. My sister told me, she said, do not get that myomectomy surgery, because she had it.
Okay.
Don't get the surgery, because you're going to be down for 6 weeks and you don't have the support system that you need to get everything that you need. And at the time, I mean, she was telling the truth, because I didn't have insurance or anything like that.
Okay.
So I said, okay, let me see what I can do about this on my own. So I was talking to this girl at work, and she gave me Ashay's flyer, because she was working with this woman, Dr. Ascari, who's a naturopath.
Okay.
And she was an intern under her. And I was like, okay. So I held on to the flyer. I went on the woman's website. And at the time I was working part-time on call, so my money was real, scarce.
Tight.
Pay gaps everywhere, tight. But I said, when I get my income tax, I'm going to get this system. Right. I'm going to try these herbs.
Yeah.
So February 2009, I contacted Ashay via email because there was no Facebook, there was no social media, it was only MySpace, and she was not doing MySpace.
Yeah.
So
MySpace was
I got
weird.
the host. It sure was. Exactly. And I was only on MySpace for the music.
Right.
So anyway, I got the system and I started it. And what I got was a parasite detox, a blood detox, and a womb detox. Okay. Started taking this stuff. And child, the first time I took this stuff, a worm got stuck in my ass, child, trying to come out.
What?
Fire, I had went to the winter music conference, the house music conference in March. Mm-hmm. Okay. It used to be at the end of March, like March 26th through the 29th. And I caught myself gonna wear my thong bikini, I think I'm all detoxed out. And, my stomach wasn't protruding then. It was not protruding then. It was still flat.
Okay.
So braids down in my ass. I'm finna, get my life.
Give it to us.
Child, all I know is I had a bump on my rectum, and I'm like, what is this? Mm-hmm. And it would not go away. I'm soaking. I'm thinking it's a boil.
Right. Wow.
Child, I get to Miami, it's still there. And I called Ashay. I said, I have a bump on my rectum. What is going on? She said, it's that worm trying to come out.
Oh, wow.
I said, worm? It hadn't registered to me yet that I was detoxing parasites.
Right, for sure.
Because that is a thing with fibroids. Those things are filled with parasites, yeast, and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I was like, okay, and then it finally did come out. But what needed to happen was I was supposed to have a colonic. I didn't have a colonic.
Oh, wow.
So, yes. So anyway, Ashay took a liking to me, and she started taking me around to these different expos. And I started learning about womb wellness. I started learning about the cycles of the moon and how the moon affects us. I started learning about epigenetics and all these different things. And I had no idea at the time that my great-great-grandmother, Hattie Louise Piggies, was a midwife after slavery. So
wow.
This was ancestral. The love that I have, the reason why I wanted my period when I was a little girl was because my great-great-grandmother had such a love for Black women's wombs and bringing the babies here.
Right. So, wow. Okay. So this is like your calling all along. But when you said that your stomach wasn't protruding, so what's tell us about the journey of the fibroid. Like, it was smaller at first and then it became larger. Like, what type was it? What, like how did that come about where it became like enlarged, and what was that like for you? The growth of it, like how did it affect you?
Well, I used to run around here with my belly out. I was a figure study model, and I couldn't hide it. And I couldn't hide it any longer. What happened was, I started in 2009 when I did meet Ashay. I was going through some PTSD that I didn't even know I had.
Wow.
And dealing with a lot of unhealed sexual trauma.
Okay.
Blow to the feminine ego. Louise Hay said that fibroids are spiritual reason for fibroids is a blow to the feminine ego. And I had a big blow to my feminine ego at the age of 11. And so I was dealing with that and just dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. I was at a very low point. So that stress and not processing that stress and not having a strategic self-care plan nor a womb wellness plan. It just added to it. And then I was still eating the same shit. Like, I wasn't drinking the green drinks. I wasn't drinking the amount of water that I needed for my weight. I wasn't having 3 bowel movements a day. And doing the castor oil packs. I was doing nothing like what I'm doing now. So self-care to grow. Self-care. And I was drinking every day. I was drinking every day. I'm talking about 2 them tall cans of Still Reserves.
The
trash.
But being in entertainment too, it's also like it's a thing, because even if you weren't drinking, like if you were doing a show or event, drinks are usually like abundant anyway, So
exactly. So I was actually feeding the fibroids. I was being counterproductive. So that's how that happened. Because I haven't had any like new additions. Like they still the same amount of number of fibroids that I was diagnosed with, but they've been, shrinking and passing, and so yeah.
It's lifestyle, and it's so interesting to me because I remember, well, shoot, I mean, honestly, 2008, like now people get, massages and detox and colonics and meditate and all of this stuff. But at the time we would just go, you know what I mean? And it wasn't really about you caring for your body. And the sexual trauma, so interesting that you bring that up, because me and Anakia was just talking about this, about how a lot of us, I know very few women that didn't experience some type of molestation or rape or or something, you see. But it's interesting because none of the guys seem to know anyone who's done any of that to any woman, but every woman I know has either been through it or knows somebody who has, you know what I'm saying? And we internalize so much, and then don't care for ourselves, or release the energy, or get therapy, or whatever we need to do to release it. So we internalize it, and then later on it manifesting against your health, which is kind of crazy. So I'm so glad that you're taking this on head on to like help other people, because you had to help yourself, you know what I mean? Yeah. So tell us about this process of you realizing, like I've heard you say stuff like, oh, be careful what you say to it, or how you think about it, or when more women need to steam their pussy, you know what I'm saying? Like you say these kind of things. So tell us more about how are you naturally shrinking fibroids, and how are you mentally combating them so that they're not overpowering you, like they're in charge of you, like your cycle being missing for months. So many women would have freaked out about that and had so many negative thoughts and ran themselves crazy, about just the thought of their body not doing something that it regularly does, So talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, first of all, the whole process, I share that in my ebook, Passing Fibroids Naturally.
Yes.
But what I will say is, number one, it is a holistic strategy, right?
Okay.
And holistic, I don't mean woo-woo. I mean mind, body, soul.
Absolutely.
Okay. And this means that you have to make sure that your physical self-care is on point, your emotional and spiritual self-care is on point, your artistic, your social, and your economic, which is time, money, and energy. All of these things. And what else? What is the other? Social self-care. Okay, so what I do is I ground myself. I cannot be around here not grounded. Now I'll give you an example. Aki was one of the first people to try and help me with fibroids before she became Chef Aki, right?
Okay.
She was giving me, advice and telling me what to do, and, just giving me encouragement. And I was not ready. Like, I wasn't ready to do all the things.
So it's work.
It's work. And I didn't have the money. I didn't, I was doing one thing at a time. And so anyway, she actually gave me her book, The Fibroid Elimination Diet. She gave me the book, and I said, you know what? She gave me this book. Let me quit fucking around. And this was 2017. I had lost one of one of the best guys I ever knew in my life. He was my songwriting partner. He was my protector. He was my lover. He was my friend. January 27, 2017. That's when I started coming to your classes, because I was grieving him. And I didn't know what to do with that grief. Like, I was chanting, but it was worse than a heartbreak. To lose someone you've been intimate with is the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Okay? And not to be able to have told him everything that I felt. Right. So I was like, somebody just bought some soap. Thank God.
Yay!
So
You better be making money while we having a podcast interview. Okay.
Yes.
Come on, passive income.
Come on, passive income. Yes. And Aisha taught me how to make soap too. I just have to tell y'all that. She taught me how to make soap, and that is how I got into that. But anyway, let me get back to Willie. He passed away, and I started coming to your classes, and that was a safe space for me. And I just felt so good being around you and, everybody else. And it was healing for me. And what I did was that year, I started back dancing, and I said, I'm going to do my own income tax. What happened was my friend, Anana, she wrote this book called Self-Care Matters. Okay. And it's about strategic self-care, because we have to be strategic. We all have a critical need, right?
Right.
And the most important question you can ask yourself every day when you wake up as a Black woman living in this world is, what do I need? What do I need?
Yes. Absolutely.
You know how many Black women don't know how to answer that question because they scared?
Yeah.
Or they've been socialized not to, because they've been socialized to be martyrs and put everybody else
first. Absolutely.
So I bought that book for my sister. I bought that book for another friend of mine. And I had never bought it for myself, but I started asking myself that question every morning in 2017. What do I need? What do I need? And it was so empowering. It would shift something in me. And it would make me not be intimidated by my needs.
Right.
So I said, I need to get me a yoni steam seat, because the fibroids still at that time, they were sitting on my bladder, and I couldn't drink the water that I needed because I would pee on myself if my bladder got too full.
Yeah.
But I got tired of living like that. I got tired of living like that, because that is not how I'm supposed to live.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
I'm not supposed to suffer, period.
Right. For sure.
My ancestors didn't come here for me to do that. They
Absolutely
did it,
not.
I don't have to.
Correct.
Okay?
Correct.
So anyway, girl, I did my own taxes. I was like, oh, you could do your own taxes. And I got some money back. The first thing I did, honey, was spend $300 on that yoni steam seat.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yes. And I steamed for 30 days. And when I tell you, I steamed that fibroid, shrunk it down off of my bladder. And I have not had any bladder problems since. And that was in 2017.
Girl.
But I took it. Yes. I started there. I started there.
And
so
go ahead, continue.
So with the whole strategic self-care, so what happened was, well, that was in 2020, but I just started asking myself what I needed. And then with the herbs I was taking, they were giving me, because herbs have spiritual properties, right?
For sure.
They not only have medicinal properties, but they have spiritual properties. And I noticed that when I would take the herbs, they would help me be even more courageous about what it is I need to say, what it is I need to do, get more grounded. And then when I tried Aki's fibroid elimination diet, she's plant-based. So this is what she's, telling us that we have to be.
Right.
Now, I tried to be plant-based for 26 days and it did not work for me.
It ain't for everybody, for sure.
No, not me being O positive blood type. Okay. And I wasn't raised like that. So if I was raised like that, then that would be probably different. But I wasn't. Right. So on day 26, I was traveling home to Memphis and had my almond butter, had my smoothies, had all of my protein and stuff,
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get that grounding that I needed in my soul. Child, I got off that mega bus. And my mom said, you want to go get something to eat? I said, yes, girl, I'm hungry. She said, what you want? Some Captain D's. I said, girl, I don't eat out the window. I need to go to Half Shell and get me some fish.
Okay.
So I met one of my high school friends up there. And child, I ordered me some blackened salmon with some broccoli and some rice. As soon as I put that piece of fish in my mouth,
you was happy.
My eyesight came back.
Yeah.
Because it was blurry fire.
Yes.
My eyesight was blurry. And my attitude was so bad. Girl, put that piece of fish in my mouth and I swallowed it and everything was just woo.
So that plant wasn't doing it for you, baby. You needed some fish in your life. Yes. I'm not mad at none of that. Wow. Ooh. So in the book, All right. You drop all the gems of the process that you have followed on your journey to shrinking fibroids. How much have you shrunk? Like, what's like the diameter, or should I say, or how do you measure it?
Well, what I did was, when I started that last program that I was on, she had us measure our waist, and my waist was at a 32. Now it's at a 30.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you just
and it's getting smaller. Like, this is my stomach. Like, when I'm usually on my cycle, I usually have bloating. I don't have any bloating.
Dope.
It's just, just the I can still see the tumor protruding, but it has changed shape. It has gotten smaller, and I can actually feel like the progress of
it. Right. And it's not sitting on your bladder anymore. Like that's
never
huge.
That is huge.
Yeah, that is huge. I have a question regarding fertility and this. So have you gone through like I know I just recently had my first like over 40 pap smear. Basically, I went to do my annual, and it was definitely so different. And I too, there's a fibroid there, you know what I mean? That's never really been in my way. And I've always, I went ahead and changed my diet, and it hasn't gotten any larger, but it also hasn't gotten any smaller, right? So I'll go to the doctor, and my doctor basically is like, so you plan to have kids, and I'm like, well, I've never been like, oh, damn my eggs, I don't want no babies, kind of thing. But I've always just kind of been like, oh, if I decide that I want to, that's what I'll do. You know what I mean? But it was like, you got to make a decision now. And it's all this pressure to make a decision. And I'm like, well, why is it so urgent now? And it's like, oh, because you're over 40 and you have this fibroid. So then it was kind of like he hit me with this, ultimatum, like, okay, well, if you want kids, then we need to, send you to a specialist and see, what your eggs are doing, and see where the fibroid is, and see if it's sitting on anything important. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm about to do a mammogram and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm like, okay, that seems kind of normal to see what's happening, what's going on with it. But then he hit me with but if you don't want kids, then we can remove the fibroid. And when we remove the fibroid, we can take your womb too. And I started to cry. You know what I mean? Because it was just like, dang, why are they so fast to try to take our womb away? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing even going on with my womb. You see what I'm saying? So it was very strange to me. So after that visit, I said, damn, I gotta find a Black female doctor that believes in more. Oh, girl, this tear me up. Oh, damn. Yeah. That's someone who's about more than just medicine and more than just money. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like he treated me different, him not being a woman. And I've never even had a second or third thought about kids, but I've never been in a position where I felt like I couldn't have one if I wanted one. And the fact that, as opposed to wanting to help me, thank you, but wanting to help me heal, I feel like he was so quick to just be like, let's just snatch that shit. You know what I'm saying? And while we in there, let's get that shit too. You know what I mean? So my question for you is, how has this impacted, fertility for you? I don't know if you wanted, children or anything along those lines, but what are your thoughts about that in general? Like, why do they want our to take our womb away so quickly?
First of all, because the Black woman is God, okay? Let me start there. The reason why the midwife, my great-great-grandmother, was eliminated was because of motherfuckers like that. Excuse my French, because that shit pisses me off.
It's okay.
I am revolutionary about womb wellness, okay? And capitalism. The practice of gynecology was perfected on enslaved African women, okay? They did not want the midwives around. They didn't want nobody steaming their vaginas or none of that stuff because we couldn't go to the freaking doctor because of our skin color, okay? Just because we have access now don't mean that shit is better. Number one, okay? Number two, functional medicine is where it's at. Number three, we need our wombs. You need your womb to hold your vagina up so it won't fall the fuck out.
Oh my gosh.
So you did the right thing. And what he did was cast doubt on you, and you were strong enough and intuitive enough to say, you know what, this don't feel good. Let me go find somebody who look like me, who's gonna treat me like I would treat myself. Okay. So that is why they do it, because they get paid for it. Number one, it creates more problems so they can keep coming back to see them, because capitalism is a white patriarchal system and they don't give a fuck about us. Okay. They don't give a fuck about us. So, and that pisses me off. And that is why I do this work, to educate us about that. Okay. These child don't get me started. So,
well, yeah, continue. That's why we're here. I told you I wanted to ask you about this, and like I said, it's so many other people that feel the same way. You know what I mean? That have been through the same thing that aren't talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
So this is the thing. Like at first when I was a kid growing up, I said I wanted 6 children.
Oh, wow.
Right. But then I started coming out here. I came out here to ATL and I was like, I don't think motherhood is. But now I feel different. I feel like if that is my walk to take, I would take that walk, but that's my choice.
Right.
I'm keeping my womb, and I want to be as fertile as possible until the day that I die, because that is my choice.
Right. That's why it hurts so bad. That's why it hurts so bad. He took my choice away.
He tried to take your choice away. He
tried to take my choice away. Look, I went to the car. I had a meltdown in the car. I've never felt,
I'm sorry,
that kind of energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't. So let me tell you about 2 doctors that I know about.
Tell me.
The doctor that I go to, her name is Dr. Barbara Simmons, and she is at Morehouse Medical.
Okay.
Now, this woman, she does not believe in herbs. However, she did give me more options than the other people that I had went to see. She was my third opinion. Okay. She told me I could either do a myomectomy or I could do fibroid management. And I had never heard of fibroid management, but technically that's what I've been doing anyway, right? Managing them and just keeping them
in line.
Keeping them in line. And then there's another woman. Her name is the Black Dr. Ruth on Instagram.
Hey.
And she is actually about functional medicine. She works in hand with the ATL Detox Diva who helped Brandy from P Valley.
Yeah, Brandy.
Yes,
that's what her she name put me on to.
Dr. Tasha. Dr. Tasha.
Okay.
And I think you definitely need to see Dr. Tasha, because Dr. Tasha don't play, baby.
For sure.
And play with nobody.
Yeah, and Brandy has definitely been a testament to her work, because her she got rid of her fibroids, and Brandy goes hard on everything, you know. So if you say only eat grass and leaves, she gonna only eat grass and leaves. She follows directions. She reads and she does what she's supposed to do on everything. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, but we don't have to keep going to these.
Dr. Ruth, Dr.
Yeah, we don't have to keep going to these doctors that don't care nothing about us. We don't have to keep giving them our money, because it's an energetic thing. You know, how you treat yourself is how the results you get. You know,
right.
Period. You don't have to settle for this bullshit. Fuck that.
Right. Yeah, I love myself too much to allow somebody to try to do that to me. So it was just a sign, like, he's been a great, you know, doctor, but I said you might have been great for my 30s, but for my 40s, I'm gonna need something a little different. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. That's right, because in our 20s and our 30s, we do a lot of performing. In your 40s, baby, you come into your own.
Don't give a fuck.
And it's like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. This is for me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. So this is so great. So tell us more about the book. All right. Okay. And of course, where to get it, where to find it. And then you got a whole workshop coming out that is already sold out. Okay, you got to tell us about the workshop, what's going to be going on in there, and how we can find you for like the next one. Because I already know there's more work to do. It's you're just going to be touring the world, or or doing virtual and then touring the world, whatever. I don't know what COVID got going on, but we working. We doing our good work up through here. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna let this medicine ruin us. You know what I mean? It's like it's like they're attacking us through our health. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a war. It's a war on the Black woman's womb. It's always been a war on the Black woman's womb, and we have more infertility now because of environmental toxins. You know, back in my day, or when I was coming up, Black women you look at a Black woman, she get pregnant, right? Now we got so many. We have so many distractions. We have so many distractions. And we have so many things that are causing the infertility. Like there was an article released today, Teen Vogue, and it talks about the cosmetic industry and how small doses of chemicals can cause infertility, and they focus on marginalized communities. Okay, so long story short, the book is called Passing Fibroids Naturally. It's about my experience, and I share everything that I've done to pass fibroids. $25. Actually, the link is in my bio on my Instagram page at The Real Madam CJ.
Okay,
it's also,
we're gonna put it on here.
You can buy the book. You can buy the book also on madamcj.com. And then the Womb Wellness Workshop. So it is called Fuck These Fibroids.
Fuck These Fibroids. I love that name. I love it so much.
Yes, because words have power, and I'm all about intention. And you have to be intentional when you're working on your body and you're doing your strategic self-care and your womb wellness and you're creating a lifestyle. And I tell women, even if you do decide to have surgery, you still need to fuck these fibroids lifestyle, because we need to be going into menopause with ease.
Period. Yeah, absolutely.
Period. We gotta be taking care of our pussy like we take care of our hair.
Hello.
Yes. You know. So the workshop is virtual. And it's next Friday. And I actually added 6 more spots, right? Because, yes, I did. I was like, let me add 6 more spots. So what we're going to be doing in there, we dance, we stretch, we dance. I show them a little bit of liquid motion, you know, the tilting and the tucking, because when you have fibroids, your sacral chakra needs to be grounded. Okay. And so those tilting and tucking actually helps you ground your sacral chakra. And it also helps you learn how to receive, because the womb wants to receive. I got this from Digi Mama. Even if you don't want to have a baby, even if you don't, the womb wants to be fertile, and the womb wants to receive. Receiving is deep feminine medicine. We have a vagina. We're natural receivers. Right. Some of us don't even know how to receive a compliment.
Ooh. Oh, girl, say that. Say that.
In this workshop, I teach women strategies in knowing how to teaching them how to receive, telling people how to give to them give to us using strategic self-care, and stating your needs clearly and plainly, and activating that grounding and receiving with movement and herbs and certain foods.
Wow. You really said something about being, designed to receive, because we're so used to giving. You know what I mean? We're so used to giving. And Black women, as we are very fertile. Like, everybody comes to us for everything sexy and fertile. You know what I mean? In general, even the way we move, the way we're shaped, You know what I'm saying? Our energy is like we're the head of like femininity and fertility. You know what I mean?
We are the mitochondria of the human race, baby. We was here first.
Yeah.
There's archaeological evidence of us being here first and giving birth to every race. So what I want to say also is I create safe spaces for Black women and Black femmes, okay? Cisgender Black women and Black femmes. I create safe spaces for us because of that fact that we're always giving. Yeah. Always giving. And when you come in my space, it's all about us. Nobody else.
How'd you come up with this? Did you have a vision? Was it on a vision board? Did you go to sleep and you woke up and you said, fuck these fibroids, and you was like, that's what I'm calling it? Like, how did this come about? Because this is brilliant.
Oh my God, girl. So what happened was I got tired of people saying, how's your fibroids? Or my fibroids. And my mentor, Dr. Cjs Books, she said, stop calling them my fibroids. Yeah. People are not intentional with the words that they use. And intention and spelling, they don't call it spelling for a reason. No reason, I'm sorry. Because when you open your mouth, you casting spells. When you open your mouth, you're casting spells, especially when you are eating right and drinking things that you put yourself in line and you're strengthening your intuition. I have to be very careful with the words that I use and intentional. So if I'm saying fuck these fibroids, that means get the fuck out of my body.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Look, anytime you throw the F word in front of something, it's got to go. No, fuck him, fuck her, fuck cancer, fuck this, fuck that. It's got to go. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So my goal with this is to do a monthly membership. Okay. And what happens inside of the membership is, of course, you know, it's our world where I'm sharing everything that everybody needs for, you know, this fuck these fibroids lifestyle. But there's a monthly workshop inside of the membership. Okay. And basically it'll be a lesson. Like I'll be teaching, like in March, I want to teach xenoestrogens and how you can identify things that you don't need in your home when you're creating a fuck these fibroids lifestyle. Because we have women, they don't even read labels. They just picking shit up and putting it on their body. But you tell them about an herb they need to take. They're going to ask you, well, hi,
1,000 questions about the herb.
Girl, do you want your pussy to fall off or do you want to get it better?
Okay. Because you talking about a bruise to your feminine ego. Soon as that pussy ain't right, what happened? Like you get a yeast infection. Oh, your whole self-esteem go down. You see what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
like what? You know what I'm saying? Like what? That's your prize. You got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself.
Something else. I noticed how my world shifted when I started being intentional about my womb and my vagina, my vulva. Girl, the whole world just changed for me.
Right.
It's like this thing is magic. Like I understand now when they say this thing is powerful.
Yeah.
You take care of her, baby, she gonna take care of you.
For sure. And isn't it crazy that, you know, the generations before us didn't even care for their pussy or like look at it or bond with it or feel unified with it? You know what I mean? But other people could manage it how they wanted to. Girl, I was on the plane watching Color Purple. Girl, I hadn't seen that in years. Girl, that movie, I forgot how disgusting it was, but just how disgusting they have treated us, and women in general, but especially Black women, especially dark Black women. So
yes,
painful to watch.
It's very painful to watch. And you know, that movie came out when we were young. I read the book when I was a young girl. Yes. And then I saw the movie. I saw the Broadway play. And it triggers me every time. And it's a beautiful movie, but it was our story. Black people was mad at Alice Walker. They were mad at her for telling that story, but it needed to be told because that is why I do the work that I do. Because people, my ancestors, we came here to atone for them.
Yes. Like, that I was, it had my blood boiling. I hate people managing us, and managing what we want, especially managing our bodies and your own family. Like that's why, like, it's just so disgusting. You know what I mean? I'm thankful for I'm thankful for the, for the elevation. And I just always think to myself, I said, damn, like, what if women were not treated like pets, or, like ownership? Like, if we had been liberated sooner, like, what would the world be like? We're so creative and smart, and we have the gift of giving life. Like, if we had been in control of ourselves sooner, like, where would we be? You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of crazy to me.
To your point, we were in the beginning times, in the Neolithic and Paleolithic times, women were running the world. We were fighting wars. The only thing we needed men for was to impregnate us.
Right.
And so those men got jealous of our ability to bleed and not die, the ability for us to give birth and to nurture through our breast, and they created patriarchy.
Yeah, it made us
suppress. They suppressed
objects.
The goddess.
They
suppress the goddess.
Yes. Well, that's what they do. They want to control. It's to control.
Exactly. They were jealous of us, and they tried to suppress us. This book called When God Was a Woman by Merlin Stone. I don't know if you've read that book, but it's going to tell you exactly what I just said. Ooh. When God was a woman. That is what happened.
Wow. Oh, CJ, you done dropped all the gems on us today. So what I'm gonna need a few things to add into this to this podcast for sure. I definitely I've seen your progress pictures on Instagram. So I think you'll definitely want to include of that. Definitely gonna put the link to your book in there and do a visual of the book. Would be dope. And we could add the flyer to the for the class in here as well. But I'm super excited for you, because this is like just like heaven sent. You know what I mean? Like, it's so many women, like, as soon as you open your mouth about fibroids, like, so many women are like, what has been your experience? So what has happened? So the fact that you are having success, and progress on something that people told us that, oh, that's not going to work, or that's impossible. You know what I mean? That you're showing that it's available to us to do. And you having your workshops to give that same dance therapy and healing movement, and, positive, affirmations and energy. Like, I'm just super excited for the movement. What can we expect from you in the future? Like, are you going to expand this? Will there be more books? I know you're going to do the monthly membership, but what can we expect for you? And don't forget to tell us about your soul.
Okay, so what's next for me is I want to create a retreat. So I want to create a retreat where we're going to talk about juicing, yoni steaming, strategic self-care, dance therapy, everything that I've been doing to help myself. I want to, I actually have a place in Gray, Georgia, beautiful 70-acre place with 3 ponds, well water. And yes, and 9 to 12 women. And my plan is 9 to 12 women quarterly. We go up there to Gray, Georgia. We go, we heal, and and I give you strategies, and then we meet in the monthly membership, and we keep each other encouraged and support each other. I want to help. My mission is to help 100 Black women, 18 years and up, cisgender, Black femmes, Black heterosexual cisgender women. create fuck these fibroids and strategic self-care lifestyles. I want to at least 100 women in the next 4 years. That is my goal. That is my mission.
Dope.
Also, the soap, Divine Clementine Bath and Body. We actually I will be at Oakhurst Farmers Market this Saturday, and then again March the 12th. I'm there on the second Saturdays during the winter time. I don't know when I'll be back, April through November, but I'll know that on February 25th. But www.divineclementinebathandbody.com. Yes. Or I'm sorry, bb.com, but it's in my link tree too. Okay. The website. So we do goat's milk and coconut milk soaps. We do goat's milk and coconut milk bath soaks. That is our bath soak. Like I soak in that after I fool with Kitty on her ass and abs, child. Woo! And then we do body butters, and I make it right now. Currently, I make everything myself. So what I want to do is I want to hire somebody else to make the things, and because I really need to be focused on completing my vaginal steam facilitator course and my juice chef course, because what I'm doing is creating this whole womb wellness dance fitness boutique service where we're dance therapy, right? Yes. We talk about juicing, we talk about nutrition, we talk about yoni steaming, we talk about strategic self-care. We get everybody together and get them in a program to where they can do things to help heal themselves and just be more intentional about how they're taking care of themselves.
Right. And the soap was basically an extension of the self-care, since half of the stuff that we put on our coochie, you don't even know what's in there.
So basically what happened was she gave me the class because the skin is the biggest organ on our body. Yes. And anything we put on our skin is getting into our blood system. Yes. And these products that we're putting on our bodies, these lipsticks, this is lip bar. This is a vegan lipstick. Okay. And hair colors and all this stuff, we have to be mindful because they contain xenoestrogens. Right. And xenoestrogens are estrogen dominant. They mimic estrogen. So they're synthetics that mimic estrogen. So a lot of things that we do, putting on our bodies and putting in our mouths, they contain xenoestrogens, and they're feeding fibroids, they're feeding cancers, all of these things. Yeah, yeah. That is why I created the soap company.
As you should. Like, look at remember when we was coming up, you ain't meet not one woman who ain't put powder in their panties, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
the towel.
Everybody used to do the towel. My mom was a hater, about it. She's a nurse. She was like, nah, powder shouldn't be in there. But she was like one of the few. Most of the women I know, you put powder in your underwear, and then look, years later, the most trusted product was baby powder, and it started sending women, especially women of color, down in flames. You know what I mean? Like, just not
ovarian cancer. Those products. My strategic self-care mentor actually worked on that case. And she created a campaign called Read the Label, Sis. Yeah. All of this stuff is by design because capitalism. All of it's by design. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
No, you don't have to be. You don't have to be. It's right. It's right in front of you.
They telling you right here, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about you. Yeah. And we fall for it. We fall for it every fucking time. Yeah. Yeah.
CJ, Madam CJ. There's so much. Okay, so what do you want to leave the people with? Like, what words of advice can you drop for us right now for the ladies that are listening that maybe they're apprehensive about this journey? Like, all they know is go to the doctor and get a surgery. They never seen anything holistic or natural, or they're like, oh, I steam my face. I didn't really think about the benefits of steaming my pussy, or I don't really know if I could. I don't know my blood type. A lot of us don't know our blood type. I had a whole blood transfusion. I don't remember my blood type. We were just talking about the blood type. I asked my mom, I said, Mama, what's my blood type? Mama just said, I don't know. I said, damn. I said, wow, that's something that we all should know for ourselves. So tell us, CJ, words of advice from Madam CJ. Drop it on us. Let us have it. We ready.
I got a few things. Okay. Number one, stop waiting so late to do shit for yourself. That pisses me off. Number one, because we want microwave cures, but we the ones are self-sabotaging by waiting so late. Number one.
Okay. Don't wait. What you waiting for, Ashley?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And number two, start educating yourself and doing your own due diligence. Don't just keep going in a circle of research. But start educating yourself. If you follow people like myself or Dr. Herb's sister or the Fibroid Queen or the Fibroid Pandemic or Woman Strong.
I love her.
You know, you seeing we have more access now to people who are healing themselves.
Yeah.
And number three, get a blood type kit. Y'all go to Amazon and get that white man out here for all this dumb shit. Get a blood type kit.
Yes, do it.
Start there. Start there.
Yeah, that was literally this week. Oh, you know what? It came from the talk of the blood transfusion. We was talking about the vaccine, and that conversation came up, and we were talking about I had a blood transfusion when I was like 2 years old. Okay. And for a long time, really up until I was about 18, I was getting tested because there was a risk that my blood that I received could have been HIV positive. Because most of the people that received blood transfusions in 82 had infected blood. And and it was just such
stressful.
I'm talking about, can you imagine? I'm a kid. I don't even know what that is or what it's about, but I'm literally getting tested, for AIDS all the way until I was 18 because I could have had bad blood. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we were talking about that, and we was talking about the vaccine, and then and the kid was like, damn, she was like, damn, what's your blood type? I said, damn. I said, I don't even remember it. Cause I haven't even been asked that. And so like before, it was like a reoccurring question. Like all the questions was about my blood. You know what I mean? It was like after you got in the clear, you went like in this la la land, kind of thing until there was another issue, which it hadn't been, that could have been relative to it. But we started talking about the vaccine. I said, damn, that's some shit you need to know about yourself for yourself. You know what I mean?
Very powerful. Very powerful. If you're in Atlanta, go see Shauna at Your Vitamin Ladies Herbs. And I mentioned that in the book. Shauna Bird is her name. Her and her husband, they do the blood type platform. They have the blood type kitchen where I get all my meals from. And they also do her name of her store is Your Vitamin Lady Herbs at 392 Auburn Avenue. It's in that plaza right across from the King Center, directly across from the King Center. It's in that plaza. She's open Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can go in there and get typed for like $20.
Okay.
Once you do that, that's going to change your life.
It's going to change your entire life, y'all. Let me tell you something. CJ, you got any shout outs? Madam CJ, anybody you want to say hello to? Any additional words? What you got, friend? And I'm gonna ask you to sing something for us. We can't let that slide. Y'all, let me tell you, when I met Madam CJ, and first of all, I didn't even realize that when you came to the studio that you were going through so much. You know what I mean? Because you just seem like your usual, happy, energetic, bubbly self. I didn't even realize you were going through so much. But when I met you, let me tell you, Apache Cafe used to be the jump off. And when I tell you, it was like Love Jones and all the singing and neo soul energy. Like when I met CJ, I was just like, man, she's just this beautiful songbird. Like all my life, I wanted to be able to sing just like her. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're so sweet.
Yeah. So it was really nice to see you transition into, you always been a mover and a dancer, anyway, but it was nice to see you find a discipline that goes with your ministry. You know what I mean? Yes. So yes, yeah, give, drop some shout outs, and I don't care. I need a line of something. I need something for the people. Come on.
Oh my God. I don't know who I shout out Robbie. I'm gonna shout out Robbie. Yes. And then who else I want to shout out? I want to shout out my mama, because she could have just put me up for adoption when she was 18 when she had me.
Okay.
And let me see who else I want to shout out. I want to shout out my business partners, Ornike Odoleye. She's the creator and founder of Mute R. Kelly. Because of her, his ass is in jail.
Oh, okay? Wow. Okay.
Yes,
didn't know that.
Baby. We don't play
no games.
We don't play no games.
I love that.
My other business partner, Farmer J, she has a TV show called Homegrown. She's a Black woman farmer, and she's actually just got picked up on the DIY channel.
Nice.
And so, but Magnolia Network, yes, honey, she teaches people. She goes to people's houses and puts gardens in their homes, and
amazing.
Just Black woman doing all the stuff we're supposed to be doing, child.
I'm so grateful.
And shout out to community farmers markets for letting me come up in there and sell my soap and being some good white folks. Good white folks.
Yes. Come on, support.
And, come on, support and for real ally.
A real support. For real ally.
For real co-conspirator. Okay.
Okay.
And lastly, let me leave you with this. Look inside yourself, well, and do you like what you see? Take care of you and yours, well, cause I'm gonna take care of me. Well, I say, well, look inside yourself, well, and do you like what you see? And if you, I always forget this part.
Yeah. It don't even matter. Okay, your voice, you could be singing in tongues and we would be grooving. Like, oh my gosh, your voice is so beautiful. Oh, yay!
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of this today and for sharing so much information. We are going to drop this thing, and these words of advice, I feel like this is lifelong. Like those three things, this is you can apply this to so many parts of your life. You're so wise, Madam CJ.
Thank you, bud. Thank you. I love you too.
Say bye-bye to the people.
Bye-bye to the people. Peace, y'all.